What was, well, you could tell this story, you could tell another story, but there was something about you brought something in, you started getting, I mean, you basically started doing influencer marketing before influencer marketing was.
Yeah, totally.
So what was that brand concept when you got a ton of free stuff shipped to
Oh,
you?
yeah. So, so basically I started, and so I got a desk, but they didn't tell me it was Groovy Lou's desk in the mailroom.
Wait, who's Groovy?
He was the stylist.
Okay.
He's the in-house stylist.
I was like, should I know this?
Yeah. No, I'm just for reference points. And so basically we walk around the office, and Jeff was the president. He's like, sit here. And it was a desk like this, maybe a little smaller, in the mailroom, which was not much bigger.
Me feel good.
Which was not much bigger than this room. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And there was a phone. And then there was like a fax machine, and then there was like 3 other interns like crammed in a desk the size, and then the office manager. And I start trying to use the phone, and they're like, oh yeah, you, don't have anyone call here because it's always busy. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, they haven't figured out how to get the phone system to work. You can dial out, but you can't dial in. Like it's busy. Like no one can call into the phone number. I'm like, well, what's the purpose of having a phone? So I'm like, I'm dialing for dollars. Like I need people to be able to get in touch with me. So I'm literally calling people, cold calling people, and then having them text me, and then I'll call them back. It was so ghetto. So I'm there for a day and a half, and all of a sudden this Rastafarian dude walks in, Groovy Lou, and he's like, yo, son, you're at my desk. And I'm like, oh, Jeff told me to sit here. He goes, that's my desk. And this is like on a Wednesday or Thursday. I'm like, yeah, but Jeff told me. He goes, that's my desk. Starting to get a little angry at me. I'm like, all right, well, where do I sit? And he goes, that's not my problem. And I'm like,
it seemed to be a common theme.
Yeah, it's common theme, not my problem. You figure it out. And so he's like, all right. He goes, scoot over. I'll share it with you. I'm like, cool. Which was probably the greatest thing that happened to me, because then the next day he's all frustrated and angry that, Arista didn't give him any money to shop for the artist because they were headlining Summer Jam, which was like the biggest show, Hot 97. And it was like The Lox and Total and 112 and Little Kim and Junior Mafia and Puffy. And like I said, Missing You had just dropped. And so Bad Boy was just like the #1 group and crew and label in hip hop.
All over TRL.
Yeah, everywhere. So Groovy's complaining he's got no money to shop for the artists. And I'm like, well, just call Nike. They have a promotion office in Marina Del Rey. And he's like, what's that? He goes, I know what Nike is, but what's a promotion office? I go, it's will they give product to artists, or talent, influencer marketing. He's like, I never heard of that. What's that? And so I'm like, okay, sit tight. So I call, and I happen to know the girl Nikita, and I cold call her. And obviously it helped that I was talking about getting free product for Puffy and not myself. And she took the call, thank God. And then I said, I need you to do me the biggest favor of your life and get all these artists product. I said, for Summer Jam Saturday night. And she's like, oh, Josh, it's like Thursday. It's like the warehouse closes in like an hour. She's like, all right, give me their sizes. I'll see what we have. I'm like, Groovy, you got their sizes? He's like, nah. I'm like, how can you be the house stylist for all these artists and not have their sizes? He's like, yo, son, I usually shop with them and they try it on. And we just figure it out as we, it's different sizes, different guys. I'm like, all right, let's guess. Yeah. Let's write down all the artists and guess. And so we literally take a stab at everybody. And then, of course, everyone's like chiming in, I'm size 12. I'm like, no. Let's just focus on the artists.
Yeah.
And so thank God she had a shitload of stuff in her warehouse. And that Friday, 13, 14 boxes of Nike shit came for free. And these guys had never seen anything like it. They never seen that much Nike stuff that wasn't stolen, or that much stuff that was for free, and they're losing their mind. So now all of a sudden they went from who's that white guy? Is he here to fix the fax machine, or is he a narc? It was one or the other, but I definitely wasn't an employee in their eyes. They're like, we have no idea who this guy just got planted in this company. And then so they saw that I got it for free, and they're like, wow. And then the next day I'm like, if they like free shit, my buddy runs Adidas, I'll call him. So I call my buddy Oli at Adidas, and the next week 500 branded Adidas Bad Boy jackets and 1,000 t-shirts show up. All these boxes in a small office, and Puffy walks in, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And they're opening, they're pulling it out. They're like, oh, the white boy ordered this. He's like, what the fuck? And he comes over, he's like, you ordered that? I go, yeah. He goes, I ain't paying for it. I said, I'm not paying for it either. He's like, well, who the fuck's paying for it? I go, nobody. He goes, what do you mean nobody? Someone's paying for it. I'm not paying for it. You're paying for it. I'm like, I'm not paying for it. And he's like, well, who's paying for it? I go, Adidas. I go, I got all that for free. He's like, you got all that for free? I said, yeah. I said, product placement. I said, we're going to give it to the artists, to the DJs, to the community. I said, it's a good look for Adidas, and it's a good look for us to have all this great gear to give away and not have to pay for it. He goes, all of it for free. I said, even the shipping. We didn't pay a single penny. I said, wow. And he just kind of shook his head.
Then he wanted to go sell it.
Yeah, no, the street team was selling it, though.
Yeah,
it was definitely out on the street in Harlem. People were selling it for sure. But it was like we had all this amazing branded gear, and that was like hot back then. Like people wanted swag, and usually you had to pay for it. And usually it came out of the artist budget. So now all of a sudden people are like, oh, this guy can get some free stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, if this is what it takes to like win them over or earn their confidence, then.
But it still wasn't paying your bills because you didn't have commission on free stuff.
No, exactly. So, but it was fun. I loved going there every day.